Cash crunch. Politicians will still buy votes despite CBN policy. NGF spokesman. NGF is Nigerian Governors Forum spokesman. He says state governors under the umbrella of the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF) have registered their discontent with the new Naira policy, describing it as confiscation of people's money. In an interview with BBC Hausa Service, the spokesman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdulrazak Bakindo, said the decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, could cause economic recession. Okay. Nigerian governors are concerned that millions of Nigerians are suffering because of the new Naira policy that was introduced by the CBN. The policy has caused the death of some people and threw many into untold hardship. Nigerians don't deserve this pain and shouldn't be made to pass through this suffering because of a policy of government. Okay? Because of a policy of government. The decision of government to give timeline for the return of the old currency is not good and unacceptable to the governors and perhaps many Nigerians. Old and new Naira notes ought to be allowed to move together until the old notes find themselves in the bank and naturally fizzle out. Okay, financial experts said that, and there seems to be element of truth in that position. The policy is undoubtedly not a good one now, and also the implementation was poorly planned. So many things might happen to the economy if urgent action is not taken. There are states in Nigeria that claimed that there are limited number of banks in their state. Besides, you cannot compel somebody to open an account with a commercial bank. So what the governors are simply saying is that the CBN policy on Naira was not well thought out before the implementation. They described the policy as Naira confiscation. People were simply dispossessed of their own money, and new ones were not provided for them. I have no information or knowledge to that. That is about accusation of politicians and bank officials are the ones frustrating this policy. Okay, so he was asked about this, about banks frustrating the effort, and he said, I have no information or knowledge to that. However, if they claim it is the politicians that are conniving with the bank officials to hoard the money, they should remember that most Nigerian elites are politicians. Besides, some people claim that the policy was designed to financially weaken the politicians so they won't be able to buy votes during the coming elections. But that won't work. There are several ways politicians can buy votes before and during elections. There are allegations that governors stockpiled money for vote buying in the coming elections. Okay? That is laughable. Remember, even the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, had indicated interest to contest for the office of the president and had even bought APC presidential form to contest the election until he was stopped. It means he's a politician too. Is it because he lost the opportunity that will make him frustrate millions of Nigerians who have genuine businesses and endeavors? Okay, and now they ask him again, will Nigerian Governors Forum beam satellite on member governors that might have allegedly stockpiled cash for vote buying? He said, I cannot go into that. Please, this is because the NGF that I work for is not engaged in political issues, so I won't answer the question. Can you imagine? So NGF cannot engage in political issues, but they are politicians and they are political leaders. This is not correct. So now he's saying what should be done now is to hold on or return the status quo because the matter is already in court. Some governors have also indicated interest to join the litigation. The Supreme Court will adjudicate on the matter soon and take decisions so that Nigerians can have a sigh of relief. Okay. So that is what Nigerian Governors Forum spokesman Abdul Razak is saying. Okay, that they should allow the government policy on redesigning is bringing hardship to Nigerians, and they should allow both the old and the new Naira notes to coexist side by side in the time being. Okay. So, and he's saying that they are not politicians. So, if governors are not politicians, who are they? Okay, who are they? So, and he's saying here that whether the policy is there or not, governors, politicians will still buy vote. That is not going to work. That the initial plan of the redesign was aimed at preventing politicians from buying votes. And at the same time, there are allegations that some governors have stockpiled old notes in their various states for vote buying. That is not going to work. People can still buy vote during or before election, and it will still, impact on the election. That the idea that the Naira redesign will prevent vote buying is not going to work. So how is it not going to work? That is the thing here. Okay, how is it not going to work? But let's see how it goes. It's clear that some more governors are joining the lawsuit against the federal government, against CBN governor and the CBN, okay, to halt implementation of the Naira redesign policy. Some governors are lining up to join that litigation. That is what Abdul Razak is saying here, the spokesperson for the Nigerian Governors Forum. And the real thing they have to do is to halt the implementation of the Naira redesign policy, allow the old and the new notes to coexist until gradually and naturally the old note will fizzle out of circulation after they have gone back to the CBN finally. Okay, and again is to also wait until, since the case is in the court, to wait until the case is finally resolved in the Federal Court of Appeal. And everybody need to stay status quo. But then, even at that, it is obvious across the country that institutions, banks and institutions, even government institutions, are not accepting this old notes anymore, because people are not sure that even after accepting it, that CBN will still give people opportunity to go and change it. Okay, there's a story that came up now that one of the magistrate courts or customary courts in Lagos, he refuses to accept the old note. Okay, and over the weekend we saw how Ganduje, the governor of Kano State, shut down the supermarket for rejecting it. Zamfara State governor is saying that anybody that rejects the old note should be arrested immediately. Why the Kaduna State governor is encouraging his people to use the old note. But at the same time, both institutions and individuals across the country have continuously refused to accept the old note because they don't have the guarantee that they can change those old notes afterwards. And that is where we are on this, because even the federal government, the CBN and the CBN governor and the Attorney General Federation are not backing down on the implementation, whether there's court appeal order or not. They're not backing down, and it's already hurting everybody. And a lot of people have agreed that, okay, let it be. Let's be patient for a while and let us finish the election, because obviously it's biting those politicians that have stockpiled money to buy vote. Even though they will still buy vote, it's not going to be like when they have the full access to the money they have stockpiled to use. And I see a situation where after the whole thing, those old notes are just going to be put on fire. Quite unfortunate. Very big loss to the country. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.